The multi-purpose stadiums of the mid to later 20th century once stood tall and aplenty throughout America, from their odd shapes to their oceans of parking lots. Most have been torn down, as many know. However, in Southern California, one that not so long ago hosted Super Bowls still stands. This is Qualcomm Stadium, Rise and Fall. The story of Qualcomm Stadium begins in 1965 when funding in the amount of $27 million was approved to build a home for the then AFL's San Diego Chargers. In 1967, they moved to what began as being called San Diego Stadium. Shortly after, in 1969, the MLB's expansion San Diego Padres moved in as well. The stadium was one of several examples of the move to the suburbs that stadiums and many people were making throughout this era, others being the Silverdome in Detroit and Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. The stadium would undergo several modifications throughout its lifetime, including a name change to Jack Murphy Stadium, being named after the popular local sports writer who heavily pushed for the stadium's initial construction. From 1980 to 97, the stadium would bear his name, and eventually a statue was later dedicated to him in 2003. In 1997, the stadium underwent another renovation, which made it enclosed on all sides, and the following year it would be temporarily expanded as it served as the host of the Super Bowl for the second time. All seemed well for the stadium going into the new millennium, with a third Super Bowl on the way in 2003. Yet things would change quickly for the aging venue, as the Padres would vacate it after 2003. This alone would be a loss of 81 events a year, along with the opportunities to host the MLB All-Star Game and World Series. The idea of replacing the stadium for NFL football would begin to become ever more present in the ensuing years of its life. First, the NFL would threaten to take away the opportunity to host more Super Bowls in San Diego due to the stadium, despite the ideal climate of the area in the winter months. Various proposals for replacement would be floated around over the next 13 years, and in 2016, Chargers owner Dean Spanos was tired of waiting. At the beginning of the year, he would attempt a joint stadium project with the Oakland Raiders, in which both teams would move and share this new stadium in Los Angeles. Things wouldn't work out this way though, as Rams owner Stan Kroenke was putting forth a more elaborate and expensive plan of his own for a stadium in LA. The NFL, preferring Kroenke's proposal, approved it over the Chargers and Raiders one, yet gave the Chargers first right of refusal at joining them in a year's time. This would give San Diego and Spanos one more year to try to make a new stadium happen in San Diego. The NFL would offer $300 million to Spanos toward a new stadium to try to keep them in San Diego, while the team would pay another $350 million. However, Spanos was demanding that the city pay an additional $350 million to make the proposal a reality. Enter Measure C. This proposal was the last chance San Diego had to keep its team. This ballot measure, if approved, was to fund a new stadium with increased hotel taxes. It would go on to fail at the ballot box, and Spanos then decided to spend roughly what he was offering to pay and asking the city to pay in the form of a relocation fee to move to LA. Money that simply goes into the other owners of the NFL's pockets, and not to any actual construction. It's even been reported that Stan Kroenke was considering spending money towards a stadium to be built in San Diego just so he could keep LA to himself. After the 2016 season, Qualcomm was vacated by the Chargers and was left to be used by its long-term college tenant, the SDSU Aztecs, for the following 3 years. The Aztecs, now securing a new stadium to be open in 2022, decided to vacate as well after 2019. The Aztecs will play in Los Angeles' MLS Stadium while their new stadium is built on the site of Qualcomm, which is now called SDCCU Stadium. SDCCU is to be demolished in early 2021, setting an end to another one of the last standing multi-purpose stadiums. From All-Star games to hosting the Super Bowl and the World Series in the same year, Qualcomm won't be soon forgotten for its place in sports history. Even though its end may have not been what fans would hope for, it served the city and its teams well. Thank you for watching.